Welcome back to the What's Cooking Show. Again, we're here with Jason with the Steamboat Warehouse restaurant in Washington, and we have a nice French onion soup going on. Jason, where are we at now?
Well, Joey, as you can see here, this is a very simple recipe. We don't have many ingredients at all, really don't. The toughest part, or the most time-consuming part, obviously, is caramelizing onions, which we are on our way with. We cranked the heat up on it, and it's going really nice. Another component to this dish is our beef broth, and I want to explain real quick how we made that. The Steamboat, we buy the ribeye rolls, which you're familiar with, and it's just a whole ribeye rack. And what we do is, first thing we do, we cut them to order at the Steamboat. So first thing we do is square up each end. So you're gonna have a piece on each end that you can't really do much things with, but that's, in the restaurant business, anyone that's familiar with running a restaurant knows that your money, your profit is mostly made from your byproducts. So we take those byproducts and try to do stuff with them. Sometimes we make meatloaf or hamburger steaks for a Sunday lunch.
Correct, yes.
Sometimes we do other things with it. One way we use it to get rid of it and use it as a product is the French onion soup. We take those ends and we cut them up. We dice them in a fairly nice, smaller size. And what I do in a Magnite pot, just like this, I brown it up in a little bit of vegetable oil. Brown it really good as if I'm gonna make a gravy. You want to, again, caramelizing another product. And what we do, once it's good and brown, I fill that pot up with water, and we just let it boil down for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. And you get this real rich, flavorful broth. You know, we had onions, we had a few different things to it to make sort of a stock for this dish. That's one way to use your byproducts in a restaurant setting. To utilize your byproducts. In the restaurant business, that's one of the most important things. You know, if you're throwing a lot of stuff away that you paid money for,
that's right.
Your money's going out the trash can, out the door. So another component to this dish is these little toast points that we have. These are homemade croutons, and we'll get a shout out after a while. And Joey, the way I made these is I basically took some Texas toast, and I took a wine glass, turned it upside down, and basically used it as a cookie cutter.
Okay.
And basically what I did is I put these on a pan, and I put some real butter on it, sprinkled some real melted real butter, and then I added some fresh garlic, also some granulated garlic, and a little bit of parsley to give it a little bit of color to it, and basically toasted it in the oven on about a 300-degree oven, 350 maybe. But you want a low oven temp because you want to make sure that the toast gets crispy, or a little crunchiness, without getting too dark and looking burnt. So
yeah, too fast, right?
Basically, you can see that. And at home, you don't have to make these perfect circles. You can just make just a nice, or cut them with a knife, whatever. It doesn't have to be perfect. Today, they're very simple to make, and I just like kind of messing around, playing with stuff. So that's why I made those like that. Very simple to make. Everything here is very simple to make.
Yeah.
You can buy stew meat at the store to make this thing, or any kind of really tough meat, and you can actually make a soup of the meat when you're done.
Yeah, sounds great. Speaking about getting stuff at the store and stuff, if you want to use the ingredients that Jason's here today, you can go by your local Piggly Wiggly stores with 2 locations here in Opelousas.
8410 Highway 182 North.
Or
1305 Heather Drive.
And in Simsport.
Simsport on Highway 1.
Yes, and come by and you can get all the copies of the recipes, or you can go on our website at kdcg.com and click on the What's Cooking Show. And this recipe, which is going to join all the other recipes.
There's a bunch of them.
Yeah, a bunch of them. Another award-winning one for you.
Yeah, well, this will be one day. I haven't won an award yet, but as we were talking about before.
In my book's an award, so I've had it.
Appreciate that. But I do have intentions for this thing. I have plans for this recipe.
But like I said before we started the show, French onion soup is one of my favorite soups, no doubt.
Until I started really putting on the specials, as often as we have in the past year or two, I didn't realize there were that many French onion soup lovers, as many as there are. There are so many people out there that just love this onion soup. I've had people tell me this is the best one they've had, but point being, I didn't realize people
Right.
love onion soup that much. I do, but I love
You
all
thought it
kind
was
of
just
food.
you, yeah.
I love a lot of food. So
But yeah, it's just something between the, like you said, the broth, the onions, the cheese, all the components put together.
everything together,
Yeah,
like,
it's just absolutely
But
wonderful.
once again, a very simple recipe. There's not many recipes there are a few, but there's very few recipes that I have that are my recipes that are complicated.
Right.
Yeah, there's some people out there that don't understand it if you tell to them, and they can't grasp it in their mind until they see it or watch you do it. Yeah, but they are all simple. This is not hard to do.
Right.
It's really not.
Not at all.
So at home, when you're making this recipe, the classical French way of serving this dish, there are different dishes that are made specifically for French onion soup. I use my regular cups. You can get the little dishes that go in the oven. It looks like almost like a little crock pot or something. But what you can do is spoon in your French onion soup into the cup, and then you would, which we will do on the next segment, put your crouton on top of the soup, and then after that, you would put your provolone cheese. French onion soup is traditionally done with provolone cheese, and these we buy from our food service provider, already sliced and ready, special, perfect for this dish.
Yeah.
And what you're gonna do is put this, when it's finished, into a little broiler or a microwave, whatever you have at home, and just enough to just barely melt the cheese, not overdoing it,
Right.
not too much, and then you just spoon through it, and it's delicious. But we'll show you that in the next segment.
That's right. So if you want to see the rest of the show, join us back for What's Cooking, and Jason's going to finish his wonderful soup for us, so join us back.